Welcome everybody, I'm Fabio Viviani and you're watching Fabio's Kitchen, where every week we'll bring you an amazing dish made by me. Today we are bringing to your attention and palate a very famous soup coming from Tuscany, my region in Italy. I come from Florence. Florence is in the beautiful region of Tuscany, and we are very known to use stale bread to create our wonderful tomato bread soup. We call it pappa al pomodoro. Pappa means food. Al pomodoro means with tomato. There is like 3 kinds of tomato in this soup. There's tomato concentrated, there's fresh tomato, and there is canned tomato. Now, the beauty about this soup is that this is peasant food. Not only use stale bread. Now, for the sake of our sanity and camera, I really didn't have stale bread. So I got a nice baguette, and I put I did some croutons, right? But this is a great way to reuse stale bread. So if your bread on the table gets left over, the next day, 2 days, don't throw it away. Just use it for tomato bread soup. Now, America's concept of soup is a little bit different from the Italian concept of soup. For you, soup is something that is gotta be eaten with a soup spoon, and is normally liquid. This soup is very, very thick. Very thick because the bread will absorb most of the liquid, and then you have to bake that in the oven. Let's get to it. First of all, what I wanna do, I wanna toast my bread. So I'm using some diced baguette, put a good amount of olive oil in it, and then we'll make some toasted croutons. These croutons will serve as the bread in the bread soup. A bit more salt, a bit more pepper, and I'm also adding few garlic sliced. I'm not really slicing the garlic thin, I'm adding the garlic almost whole. By toasting the garlic with the bread, you're gonna have a nice, almost like a bruschetta flavor. You got some nice olive oil, you got some, back end flavor of garlic. And now this has to be nice and toasted. At the same time, we have to create the base. Olive oil, onion, red onion, will be salt and will be pepper. Now, the reason why we are chopping the garlic really in half, we're not chopping it finely, we're chopping we'll really cut the 2 cloves in half, is because we want to light the flavor of garlic, the aroma, but we don't want it to burn. Garlic burns very easily. So you have to pay attention, but not worry, because the bigger is the garlic, the less chances you have to burn it. Now, onion. Our onion is caramelizing, and here's what we need to do now. We have to get, our bread is toasting, we have to get the raw tomato, and I'm chopping them like coarsely, not a lot of chopping going on here. Just breaking them apart to help the cooking down of it process. Then we add this to the onion. So pretty much now we are creating the base for what the casserole, what casserole is going to be. Red onion, tomato, and toasted bread. Now the bread will be toasted soon. At this point, I'm adding the fresh tomato, the fresh canned tomato, to the tomato paste. Tomato paste is very pasty, as a match tomato paste. So by adding the fresh tomato, I'm kind of diluting a little bit the consistency of it. And now we're going to add this to the other tomato. Now the bread is nice and crunchy. It has some little very crunchy bits and ends. So now here's what we gotta do, guys. So you got the fresh tomato, you got the tomato sauce. You're gonna get these and you're gonna add your bread to it. Look. And then getting some fresh herbs. Getting some fresh herbs. Broth. Now in this case we're using vegetable broth. This is vegetable broth because there is no meat inside, there is no fish. This is just a vegetarian kind of tomato soup. Like that. And now the fun part. Extra virgin olive oil. And this dish goes in the oven until there is a nice thick crust on it. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Honestly, look how beautiful it is. Tomatoey, delicious, luscious bread. The bread on top is crunchy, but the soup is very moist. Good flavor of tomato, amazing flavor of basil, the roasted garlic is delicious. And the 3 tomato inside really helps because different layers, they preserve as a deep flavor of tomato, the freshness of the fresh tomato, and then everything is brought together by the tomato sauce. Look at this. Literally, guys, these smell like summertime. Look. Look how beautiful, how pretty it is. Let me dress this for you. Some fresh herbs. A little bit of lemon zest. And drizzle extra virgin olive oil. A delicious yet different bread soup with tomato. Fabio's Kitchen, everybody.